Hey y'all, Tracy here with Just Dig It Farms. Jean and I just got home from a very exciting weekend and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. We've been gone for about 5 days, and before we left the farm, the grass was cut, weeded, the garden was weeded. I had all of the beds looking so good. The potager garden was looking awesome when I left here. Well, it has been raining non-stop here, y'all. We have had so much rain this year. I mean, we've never had this much rain since we've lived here. Usually the rain misses us. We're in what they call the bottoms, and the rain always comes right up to us and separates and misses us. So ever since we have lived here, we have been in a drought here in our area. It'll rain all around us, but it just won't rain here. But this year, we've had rain almost every day, it seems like. And everything is just lush and green and vibrant out here at the farm. It's so beautiful. But it's also very weedy. The grass grows really fast, and we're at a point where we're getting too much rain. I had quite a few ripe tomatoes hanging on my trellises when I got home, and they were all rotten, blossoming and rot on every one of the ripe ones because of too much rain, I believe. And my beans are all starting to get some fungus issues. A lot of things are starting to get some fungus issues because of too much rain. I think the watermelons are even getting too much rain. And the grass and the weeds, they grow whether it rains or not. And with all of this rain, they're just been flourishing. So I get home and my garden is a jungle. So we got a lot of work to do in the garden this week. And my first project in the garden is to tackle this bed. I have a bunch of cucumbers that are just way too overgrown. And I thought I would be ambitious this year and try to learn how to make dill pickles again. I have failed every single year that I've tried. And I really was gonna give it a go this year. And I've decided I'm not gonna worry about that this year. So I'm actually gonna pull most of these cucumbers off because we just don't eat that many cucumbers. So I'm actually gonna pull most of these cucumbers off, and I'm gonna replant this trellis with some peas. And my squash and zucchini is pretty much done in this bed. I had a hard time with squash bugs and squash vine borers this year. I got plenty of squash. We're tired of it already, and I've got tons put up. As the squash vine borers and squash bugs have been taking out my squash one by one, I've been just pulling them out and then coming back in and sowing some pea seeds. These are the top pick pink eye purple hull peas, I think, from Hoss. So as I've been pulling out the squash, I've just been sticking a seed in its place so that I could go ahead and get my peas started coming in right behind my squash here. These squash plants still look okay, so I'm probably gonna leave those. Probably gonna leave that one zucchini over there that still looks good, but these others, I'm gonna go ahead and pull those, pop a few more seeds in here. Pull more pigweed, pull most of these cucumbers, and sow some pink eye purple hull peas that are vining, that I can trellis right here. And all of this is pigweed, so I've got to get all that pulled out. This bed of chamomile has just started blooming, so that's awesome. I'm looking forward to harvesting that. It's amazing how much the garden grows and how much things happen and change in just 5 days. This is what I'm not happy about. Look at my tomatoes. They're covered in stink bugs. They're rotting out. Oh man. Oh goodness. I'm gonna have to address these issues. And I've got some big, beautiful tomatoes on here. Dang. Man, I hope I'm able to actually harvest some tomatoes this year out of my garden. That stinks. Okra has taken off and is growing really well. We've got lots of herbs that are wanting to be harvested. Lemon balm, lemon verbena, lemon basil. Wow, look at the hops. It's really taken off. This is my other bed of okra, and it's doing really well. These are dahlias from the Floret collection that I planted here last year, and they reseeded themselves and came back. Aren't those pretty? The garden phlox is blooming. Look at that. I believe this is the common purple. I think this one is, maybe it's John Fanick, maybe. This garden phlox, I'm pretty sure it's Texas pink. The butterflies love this garden phlox. The Henry Dulberg salvia is showing out, looking beautiful, and all the bees are enjoying it. Chamomile in this bed is pretty much done. It is all finished and over with. And right here was where we had potatoes, and I re-sowed with the top pick pink eye peas, and they've all come up. So we should have a good run of peas right through here. Still picking green beans. These are rattlesnake pole beans. Jean's mom and dad picked the garden, took care of the animals, took care of everything for us while we were gone. They picked a big basket of beans, and then when I got home, I picked another big basket of beans, and I snapped them all last night, so I'll be canning those up probably tomorrow. I think this will produce a few more beans, so we're gonna leave that and hopefully get another mess or two from it. And then this one back here is just now getting started. So my grape tunnel is going crazy. Look at it. I love it. Isn't that so pretty? I had to back up and show you. We have to duck down to get in here, but look at the grapes. We'll have a few, but they're getting too much water too, and some of them are not doing good. But these beans back here are the Kentucky Wonder pole beans, and they're just now getting started. I did pick a few off of them yesterday, and they're starting to develop good. I should be able to pick again tomorrow, add to what I got. But see all these rust spots on here? Heat, humidity, and too much water, too much rain. There's a few turmerics are starting to pop up. That's turmeric that I planted earlier. I've got it all in this bed, and they're just now starting to pop up. Last year was my first year to grow turmeric ever, and I learned pretty quick that it takes a long time for turmeric to start coming up. So you plant the little rhizome root of turmeric, and it just takes a long time for it to ever start coming up. But once it does, which it has, just now got started, I see 3 different ones popping up. So once they start coming up, this whole bed will be full of turmeric. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, the sweet potatoes are looking nice. This is Beauregard and Georgia Jet, I believe. Blackberries are starting to play out a little bit. We've still got some going. These leaf-footed stink bugs are on everything. Goodness. They're starting to finish up. I think we've got a few more little harvest together from it, but for the most part, the blackberries are beginning to play out. Look at this rosemary. When I left, this was super healthy. It looked so good. Like, this did not look like this. In fact, it was big and I harvested it and it looked so good, but all of this rain did that. Yeah, these blackberries, I think we'll get a few more. This row of blackberries has a lot more potential on here for more berries than the other one. We've got some growth in the Vego beds. These are gourds. That one's probably the birdhouse gourd. That one's a birdhouse gourd. And that is the little small ornamental gourds. So my seed was old and those didn't really come up. I ordered some more seed and planted it yesterday right before the rain. So hopefully they'll start coming up. This is borage and this is sweet alyssum. Hopefully those little small ornamental gourds are going to take over this whole tunnel. We'll be able to walk through and those little gourds will be hanging from there. I've been dreaming of that for a couple of years now. Last year it didn't happen, so we installed these Vego raised beds because the soil right here just was not good. And I'm hoping that I get my gourd tunnel this fall. And then as you walk through here, that is 21 Roselle hibiscus, and they have really grown since I've been gone. And so has the grass and the weeds, y'all. Oh my gosh. This whole area was disc up. And look at this. Wow. But look at these roselles. Look how nice they look. Don't those look good? Yeah. I'm excited about these. This is the new St. Kitts variety. that is supposed to develop the flowers and calyxes early. So hopefully I'm gonna have a really good harvest of these for our tea. Then back here, I've got pumpkins, and I knew it. They're struggling. They are struggling, and I've got to get these sprayed. They really don't look as bad as what I thought they were gonna look like with all of this rain. But they do need some help. I'm hoping for pumpkins this year. I didn't get pumpkins out here last year either for my grandbabies. They didn't make it. And I'm really hoping that my pumpkins make it this year so my grandbabies can come out here and pick themselves a pumpkin. But I got to get in here and get this tilled up a little bit and maintained. We got a lot of work to do this week. I don't think I showed you guys this before we left. I got all of the fruit trees along our fence here. I got them pruned and tied up to the fence. So we are espaliering our fruit trees on this fence border around the potager garden. And I got all of the trees pruned, trained, tied up, and they're really looking good. So this is an apple tree, and I hope you can see it good, but I've been working on this. We got 2 leaders, one going this way, one going that way. And then we come up, we've got another set, one going that way, one going that way. And then we come up, and I might try to do a 3rd run. And then up at the top, I'll keep that cut so that that'll stop the growth from it going any higher. This one over here looks really good too. So you can see the form that it's taken here. So you've got that cane or branch, that branch, we come up, we got one there, we got that one going up. It needs to be tied down a little bit. And then that one's gonna have 2. That's your main leader, and we'll keep it cut. But this is the next phase of pruning and training the espaliered fruit trees. So I got all of these done along the fence line before we left. These are the pear trees. Started on those. I got the muscadines tied up. They're growing pretty fast. This is how much it's grown in just the 5 days, 6 days or so since I've been gone. Look, I had it to right there, and that much. That is the growth in about probably more like 7 days. They grow so fast. It will not be long, and they will be running all across these wires up here. Cannot wait for that. We got a few blueberries to pick. Yay! In this bed, down the sides of the bed is holy basil there, and in that row over there. And then down the middle is butternut squash and red curry winter squash, all down the middle there. But mostly what you're seeing in these beds, pigweed. When we got home, the limelight hydrangeas were blooming. Look, they're starting to bloom. Aren't those gorgeous? They are just starting to bud. It's fixing to be a beautiful show. And these over here I planted about 2 years, maybe even 3 years later, because we built this porch addition later, and then this garden bed was added probably about 3 years later, and I planted those. So they're behind. Probably by next year they're going to be the same size as these, and I cut those back more than half. You just cannot beat limelight hydrangeas, and they don't care how hot it is. And I just noticed right down here my bee balm's blooming. Look at the bee balm. Look at all of the bees. They love it. I love the smell of bee balm. Oh my gosh, it just has this such a unique fragrance. I love it. It makes a delicious tea. There's so many benefits and uses to this bee balm. It is a wonderful herb to have. And if you get stung by a bee, you can just take the leaf and rub it on the bee sting, and it takes the sting out. Bee balm. I love the fragrance of it. Maggie Rose is still blooming. Belinda's Dream. My plan was to give y'all a June tour of the potager garden when I got back home, but everything is so grown up, the grass is so grown up, there's so many weeds in the garden, and there's so much work that I need to get done. But I did want to walk through and just show you guys how much it's grown and what all's happened in the garden in just a week. It's amazing how fast everything grows. So hopefully next week we can do a tour of the garden and look at everything a little bit closer. I'm about to go over here and get started on flipping this bed and getting some more peas in the ground. Peas love this warm, hot weather that we're heading into. It's already in the upper 80s, and by the end of this week we're going to be in the 90s, and we'll probably stay in the 90s and move up to the hundreds. So now is the time to get my peas in the ground. They love this warm weather. The peas, the okra, the sweet potatoes, they all love it hot. So I'm gonna get those cucumbers and squash out of there, get some more peas planted, get that bed flipped and weeded, and get busy weeding the rest of the garden. But before I do, I want to share with y'all where we've been the past few days. We have a new granddaughter. Our youngest son, Chance, and daughter-in-law, Renee, who are the parents of our grandson, Cooper, who is now 2 years old. They had their little girl Thursday at 10:53 a.m. and her name is Millie Sutton Britnell. She was 7 pounds and 4.2 ounces, and she is adorable. She has the cutest little fat cheeks, and she has long, dark, thick black hair, and she is beautiful. And I had the opportunity to be in the delivery room when she was born. Renee and Chance asked me to be in the delivery room with them as she was born, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful experience. I am so grateful for that opportunity to be there the moment our granddaughter entered this world. I'm so thankful to them for letting me be there. Just to be present during that was, I don't even have words to describe it. It was absolutely beautiful. And a precious moment that I'll cherish the rest of my life. So Millie Sutton Britnell is here. Cooper is a big brother. And at first he wasn't too sure about her, But as the days went on, he warmed up to her, and now he's a big helper, bringing diapers and checking on her and petting her and holding her, and he's just, he's going to be a good big brother. So we are so blessed. We have 5 beautiful grandchildren now, and our family's growing quick. Okay, y'all, let's go get this bed flipped. I really want this space for my peas. I would rather have the peas than I have the cucumbers. So I am going to get rid of them. I know it seems like all of you cucumber lovers out there and pickle lovers are like, don't do it. But I'm just over the cucumbers. And you know, why do we grow so much of something that we don't even eat a lot of? That's the big thing. You know, let's give this valuable real estate and space to things that we really want to fill our pantries up with, like peas and beans. I want to be able to can enough peas, beans, maybe even some lima beans. I want to be able to can enough beans and peas to put up to have all winter, because we eat a lot of those. So I really want my pantry full of those versus full of pickles that may or may not work. Chickens will be happy. I know, it's such a waste, y'all. Such a waste. I might keep these that look good. That aren't... I'm going to keep some of these that aren't too overgrown. This is my schwo. This is probably my favorite garden tool. It's called a schwo, and it just cuts right through the weeds. So on all this little pigweed and little grass, if you can get it when it's little bitty before it starts really taking root and getting big, when it starts getting really big, I hand pull it. But if I can get in here when it's little, this schwo will do the job without me having to crawl around on my hands and knees pulling little weeds up. And this schwo is the ticket. I got this at Petals from the Past. I got this thing a long time ago when I worked there. I've never sharpened it. It probably needs to be sharpened, but it has been my favorite garden tool. Thank y'all so much for joining me in the garden this evening, flipping a bed with me, and celebrating the birth of our new granddaughter with us. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, we would love for you to go over and subscribe and join our community. And I've had a few followers tell me that somehow their subscription to our channel got canceled. So if you would, please go over and check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit the notification button. Give us a like and share this video with your like-minded garden and homesteading friends. I hope you all have a wonderful week. God bless you. Happy gardening, and I'll see y'all in the garden next week.